Hi, team.
Hi, everyone. So sorry for the glitches. You can see if you go to the people on the call that it still says that Michelle is the meeting host, even though she transferred it to me. So I'm not really sure why Google hates us tonight.
Were we able to get any parents in the meeting room?
Yeah, it seems that people who were coming in from their phone were let right in because Kiki got let in, and then when Celio tried to get in on his phone, I know Miss Santiago is here.
Okay. Well, good news. We were able to share that.
Yeah.
So I will go ahead and share my screen. Yep, there it is. Share. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this Wednesday, February 8th, for our virtual LSC meeting. We'll go ahead and call to order and to start with our roll call. And this is, do we have our student representative present to add him to the roll call?
Yes, he is here. Tenoch.
All right, fantastic. So Tenoch will be joining us today for his first LSC meeting, and we can add him to the roll call and votes.
Yep. Tenoch, what is your last name?
Hernandez Arauz.
I caught Hernandez.
I'll put it in the chat, Vanessa.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Okay, we'll do roll call. Ilse Acevedo.
Presente.
Adrián Calderón. Michelle Carrillo. Abraham Celio.
Presente.
Yesenia Cervantes.
Presente.
Dulce Garduño.
Presente.
Vanessa Herrera presente. Erika Montenegro.
Presente.
Megan Sobel.
Presente.
Javier Velázquez. Tenoch Hernández.
Present.
Let me count that up. Entonces, we have...
I think we have 8 and we need 8.
6. Yes, we do. Yep, we're good.
8 members, perfect. All right, thank you very much. We'll go ahead and so we have quorum, and we'll go ahead and go into review by voting to approve the current agenda. Can I get a second?
Seconded.
Did I hear Megan second it?
Yes.
Okay. Any discussions? No. Okay. We'll move to approval. Ilse Acevedo.
Yes.
Yesenia Cervantes.
Yes.
Dulce Garduño.
Yes.
Abraham Celio.
Yes.
Vanessa Herrera, sí. Tenoch Hernández.
Yeah.
Erika Montenegro. Erika Montenegro, was that a yes?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay,
I thought
no
my
worries.
space bar was unmuting me, but it wasn't.
No worries. Megan Sobel.
Yes.
Perfect. So we have 8 votos a favor.
0 no, 0 abstantes. Muchas gracias. Y también podemos aprovechar el momento para aprobar los minutos de la junta anterior. Were those shared, Ms. Herrera?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So I'd like to make a motion to approve the previous meeting's minutes. Me gustaría hacer una moción para aprobar los minutos de la última junta. ¿Una segunda?
I second.
Gracias.
Okay. Vamos a voto a Ilse Acevedo.
Sí.
Abraham Celio.
Sí.
Yesenia Cervantes.
Sí.
Dulce Garduño. Vanessa Herrera, sí. Tenoch Hernández.
Yeah.
Erika Montenegro.
Sí.
Megan Sobo.
Yes.
Dulce Garduño. Dulce, si no puede salir de mute, si puede poner en el chat.
Yes.
Gracias. Ok, tenemos 8 votos a favor.
All right. Reporte de la
0 no, 0 abstantes. Muchas gracias. Y próximo punto de nuestra agenda, we'll stop sharing. I'll let you take over.
Thank you. One second. Being slow. All right. That should be a V, a Favero. Oh no, that's a B. Favero. Wow, so slow. Sorry, guys. All right. En caso que te los hayas perdido, field trips, paseos, viajes de estudio. We see the Museum de Ciencia y la Garfield Park Conservatorio. Our prioridades de CIWP, multi-tiered systems of support or sistemas de apoyo de múltiples niveles. Las pruebas de los estudiantes mostraron que nuestros estudiantes tuvieron un desempeño deficiente en K-3 y luego alcanzaron o superaron cuando llegan a la escuela intermedia. Esto es exactamente lo que deberíamos ver de los estudiantes del idioma inglés si el plan de estudios es apropiado y nuestras intervenciones MTSS están funcionando. Student Voice, voz estudiantil, excursiones para los grados 5, 6, 7 y 8 y pronto habrá más para los grados más jóvenes. Los maestros analizaron el trabajo de los estudiantes durante su día de desarrollo profesional para ver qué es lo que más atrae a los estudiantes. Y otro más, Radical Candor, Sinceridad Radical, el personal práctico, conversaciones difíciles de la vida real utilizando un borrador de una rúbrica creada específicamente para Orozco. Una vez que el personal se sienta cómodo aplicando este aprendizaje por sí mismo, la esperanza es que se lo enseñen a los estudiantes y las familias. ¿Preguntas?
Yo tengo una pregunta. En el Student Voice Committee, ¿los estudiantes hicieron presentación en el PD Day?
Nope, because they weren't there that day. But one thing I didn't update this for is that we actually, because we're in the middle of it, on Tuesday we met with Student Voice, and then we're meeting again on Thursday because they finally are figuring out what they want their focus areas to be.
Okay. Thank you.
Entonces, un punto que acaba de mencionar Ms. es que todo eso estamos en medio del proceso. El martes se reunieron y van a reunirse de nuevo. You said on Thursday?
Yes, so we're
That you're
finishing.
gonna meet. Yes, van a reunirse de nuevo el jueves para continuar y acabar la conversación, llegar a sus conclusiones.
And then my apologies, I just realized I forgot to finish adding that one from Miss Salguero. So discúlpame, mis notas es no finalizado? Finished?
Completas.
Gracias. So this is our budget. So tenemos algo de dinero en una línea presupuestaria que no se ha utilizado y que con suerte puede destinarse a la compra de un smartboard para arte. Su proyector no funciona, así como a un posible programa de reciclaje de Student Voice y el banquete de octavo grado. También se están comprando libros y alfombras nuevas para los maestros que lo necesitan. Y señora Salguero es, I'll need help with this translation, es collecting dinero para estudiantes por su field trip de la teatro.
Yep, está recaudando fondos para ayudar para el paseo de los niños al teatro.
Gracias. And then just a little bit more data because we just got it in. It's a little bit hard to see on the screen, but this is our middle of year data. Someone can translate that for me.
Esta es la información para nuestros, para a mediados del año.
The top is our STAR 360 data. That's our third graders through eighth graders.
Arriba pueden ver los resultados del examen STAR 360 para los grados tercero a octavo.
And the green shows us that from BOI, beginning of year, to MOI, middle of year. So now we've grown in reading 4% and we've grown in math 4%.
En verde podemos ver que desde el principio del año hasta a mediados del año hemos aumentado en lectura de, I'm sorry, what was reading? 4%?
But yeah, both grew 4%.
Yeah, los dos aumentaron por 4%.
You can also see in the red that we do have some students who are below grade level, and those students are getting supports, whether they be push-ins or pull-outs, to make sure that they get caught up.
También tenemos a la derecha, podemos ver que sí hay algunos niños que no están llegando a la meta de puntuaje y esos niños se les está proveyendo asistencia adicional, ya sea sacándolos de la clase para atención adicional o, I'm not sure what push-ins mean.
Just like a teacher will come into the class and work with those students in a small group.
O un maestro adicional dirigido directamente para ese alumno.
Gracias. And then on the bottom, we have the iReady test, which is kinder through second.
Abajo tenemos los resultados del examen de iReady que aplica para los niños de kinder al segundo grado.
We have roughly 19% of students or 16 students who are above grade level. Similar data, 19% or 16 students who are on grade level. And then we have 51% of students who are approaching grade level and about 10% of students who are below grade level and in need of intervention.
Como podemos ver, tenemos el 19% de los alumnos están alcanzando puntuajes encima del promedio, o no el promedio, más bien el nivel de grado. 19% de alumnos también están llegando al nivel de grado, 51% de alumnos están acercándose al nivel de grado y tenemos 10% de los alumnos que están los puntuajes son bajo del nivel de su grado.
Es normal que los aprendices de inglés obtengan un puntaje bajo durante la primaria y alcancen o superen en los grados posteriores a medida que adquieren dominio del inglés. So it's very normal for the younger students in a transition to English program to be lower. And as long as by the time they get up to the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade level, as long as they're meeting and exceeding, then we know that we're doing the right instruction.
Sorry, really quick, Ms. Sobel, could we possibly get paper copies of these the Star 360 exam results?
Yeah, and every parent will be getting the email. I think Miss Felsenstein is going to be helping me send that out on Friday. So you'll get your individual student data again. And this is also, so it's here in my deck. I'll drop the deck in the chat so everyone has as well, the whole school data.
Ms. Sobel, when those emails are sent,
Yes.
if we don't, I would like to make a recommendation that we follow it up with a parent square message, just so parents know to look for them or check their junk mail or something like that.
Yep, and I have been putting that in the principal message. Should I send it out also as an individual message, do you think? Would that be helpful?
No, I think the principal message is good.
Okay.
And when did you say you were the individual scores were going to be released?
So Miss Felsenstein's been sick all week. So if she comes in, we hope to have it out on Friday, but she hasn't been in at all this week, so it might not be until next week.
I just wanted to translate what you had said previously. Esta información, como siempre, la directora va a compartir esta presentación. So vamos a tener acceso a estos datos de toda la escuela, pero cuando Ms. Felsenstein regrese, ya sea esa semana o la que siga, en esta semana está enferma, nos va a compartir los puntuajes de nuestros alumnos específicamente.
And then one more thing I wanted to make sure everyone knew is that it's not just that we're testing the kids. The teachers actually take this data and analyze it to make sure that they are revising their instruction according to student need. So esta semana todos los maestros analizaron sus datos utilizando el protocolo de análisis de datos de Orozco, or DAP. Esto les ayuda a usar los datos para revisar su instrucción de acuerdo con las necesidades de los estudiantes. And that is that. I'm going to now present my other report. 1 second. Let me make this bigger so people can see it. All right. So we are working really hard on field trips, as students have been asking us to get out of the building more. Las maestros están trabajando arduamente para involucrar a los estudiantes a través de oportunidades fuera del edificio, como vistas al Conservatorio Garfield Park y al Museo de Ciencia y Industria. Down a few. And I'll drop this in the chat in a moment. My computer is just being really slow. Enseñando y aprendiendo. El consejero Kane creó una semana de aprendizaje social y emocional sobre la mentalidad de crecimiento y el establecimiento de metas que los maestros facilitaron. El director Sobel se reunió con Leslie McKinley del Departamento de Primera Infancia para discutir la posibilidad de agregar pre-kinder el día completo. So we have half day, we want full day. Estamos en su lista de solicitudes de adición de programas, pero les están dando a las escuelas hasta el próximo año para aumentar su inscripción de pre-kinder de día completo. No, what did I do? Un momento. Para el año escolar 2024 y 2025, buscarán quitar cupos de las escuelas que están subutilizadas y dárselos a Orozco. CPS no solo agregará un programa de pre-kinder de día completo sin quitarlo en otro lugar, ya que actualmente hay, oh no, I should have translated this, 124, 1024.
124.
Gracias. Cupos de pre-kinder de día completo abiertos en nuestra red. So basically, there are 124 open full-day seats in our neighborhood. It's our network. And they're not going to give those to us, even though I was trying to get those, because they want to give those schools one more year to try to recoup their COVID losses.
Yeah. So, nomás para aclarar, se ha hecho la solicitud. Actualmente hay espacios vacíos, pero a causa de todo lo que ha sucedido con COVID, con la pandemia, quieren darle a esas escuelas la oportunidad de tratar de recuperar esos asientos antes de simplemente quitárselos y dárnoslos a nosotros. Pero el próximo año, la directora Sobo ya tiene programado su seguimiento con la oficina para volver a pedir esos asientos.
I already have it on my calendar for this time in 2024 to make our plea and make that happen for us. So fingers crossed.
I got ahead of you and I said that already.
Perfect. And then la reunión sobre posible cambio de idioma con PAC-BAC y LSC se llevó a cabo virtualmente el miércoles 1 de febrero. Las opciones se revisaron por última vez y se tomaron preguntas y se hicieron revisiones a la encuesta y los recursos para garantizar que los padres tengan claras todas las opciones y sus aspectos positivos y negativos. Y siguientes pasos, tener una reunión más con los padres para revisar las opciones de idioma de Orozco y enviar la encuesta. Si hay un claro deseo de cambio, 60 o más familias, estudiantes y personal. Solicite a CPS que cambie nuestra designación de idioma para el año escolar 20 for next year. Si no hay un deseo claro de cambiar, déjelo como está o continúe la conversación.
Okay. And then can we just add if that date, because we know, I think we had agreed on doing the language meeting on February 15th.
Mm-hmm.
So we can go ahead and share that.
Yep. And I believe that that was also already shared on Parent Square by Ms. Alice.
Okay, sí, tienes razón. La junta va a tomar a cabo el febrero 15 y sí tiene razón. Ms. Alas ya había compartido esos datos y puede encontrar ese enlace en Parent Square.
Beautiful. Just a couple of other updates. Subdirector Augusta revisó las expectativas de comportamiento con los estudiantes para garantizar que todos permanezcan felices y saludables en Orozco. Y ¿otro más? Shad Aquarium finalizó el plan de estudios para la Asociación de Ciencias de primero y quinto grado, so first through fifth, y esa instrucción comenzará en marzo. Tenemos algo de dinero en las líneas secundarias que no se está utilizando, por lo que retendremos una tarifa de estudiante de octavo grado con la esperanza de que podamos cubrir esos gastos con ese dinero. So, holding on an 8th grade student fee in hopes that we don't need to ask parents for that money. Preguntas.
Yes, Miss Sobo, preguntas. ¿Sabes si los maestros usan una plataforma que se llama Donors Choose? Do you know if teachers currently use Donors Choose and how they're currently using them?
Miss Marungo has gotten a few things. I think that's the only one that's recently had anything. I know there were a few that went through in the beginning of the year.
Okay. And is that something that parents can participate in?
Most definitely. I saw some posts in the beginning of the year, but I'm not sure if they were on Parent Square or where that was being posted. I can share with the teachers to make sure they're putting that on Parent Square for families.
Ya, y sé que en mi experiencia yo participé no sé si fue en el Donor Shoes de Miss Marungo, pero cuando usted participa en Donors Choose con un maestro, la aplicación misma de Donors Choose te da seguimiento cuando la maestra pone más información o más recaudaciones de fondos, los mantiene al tanto. Es posible de seguir a los maestros de Orozco, específicamente en Donors Choose, y así se pone uno, se informa inmediatamente cuando hay un nuevo evento, una nueva recaudación de fondos que se está tomando a cabo en Donors Choose.
Yes, I can start adding that to my, I also get a notification. I get like a fax or an email, so I can just add that to my report as I get those.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Mesovo va a agregar esa información cuando le llega a ella misma las notificaciones de los nuevos recaudaciones por los maestros y los va a agregar al reporte de la directora.
O quizás no es algo que sea buena idea poner en Parent Square también.
Well, she shares that on Parent Square, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually put it in my, I'll add it to my my parent update as well.
Okay.
Thanks, Yesenia. All right, that's it. If you think of anything else, email me.
Okay, so let me take over.
Just a really quick suggestion. There's this little tin bucket we've been using in the house, and I'm surprised to see how quickly it's been collecting random change. So I was thinking, why don't we set up something like that in the office or near the office? Just when we have, kids sometimes have like change from like the book fair or whatnot. We could collect, small little donations that way, and they add up.
I love that idea. Can you email me that so I don't forget, Yesenia? We'll have to do a fundraising document for that at our next LSC.
Ok, entonces ahora podemos mover al próximo punto en nuestra agenda, que es el reporte del programa Gifted. Y eso lo dará Mesovo o Carrillo.
Oh, I can do that. I asked someone to do it for us, but I will do it for us. 1 second.
And do you want me to stop presenting?
No, I'm just going to read off her email. I'm just trying to pull it up.
Perfect.
Alrighty, so we had a gifted testing day on January 21st, and then we're having another one February 11th.
Tuvimos día de examinaciones para el programa Gifted. I'm sorry, what were the dates?
We had one on the 21st, and then the next one is this Saturday, the 11th.
Lo tuvimos el 21 de enero y el próximo que sigue va a ser el 11 de febrero, este sábado.
66 families tested on January 21st, and 26 gave their emails to Ms. Carrillo to be contacted because they are interested in Orozco.
66 familias vinieron a tomar el examen. Yes, wow. Y 26 de ellos compartieron su correo electrónico para que Ms. Carrillo les dé seguimiento porque están interesados en nuestro programa.
And Ms. Carrillo was there on the 21st to answer any questions and take emails. And then I had myself and a friend who speaks really good Spanish at a greeter table to welcome everyone and also answer any questions.
Ms. Carrillo estuvo allí el día 21 para contestar cualquier preguntas que tenían los padres, y también Mesovo estuvo presente con un intérprete, para también ayudar a resolver o responder cualquier pregunta o preocupación que tenían los padres.
And then Mr. Romero and Mr. Gonzalez also supported.
Mr. Romero y Mr. González estuvieron presentes para apoyar.
And this Saturday, AP Augusta, Mr. Romero, and Mr. Gonzalez will all be supporting testing.
Este sábado, los presentes serán Ms. Agosto, Mr. Romero y Mr. González para la examinación.
And Ms. Carrillo continues with the play sessions to prepare our students for the test.
Y Ms. Carrillo ha continuado con las sesiones, las estaciones de juego para que los niños se preparen antes de los exámenes.
That's it.
Eso es. Ok, muchas gracias. El próximo punto en nuestra agenda es espacio para el PAC y PAC. Empecemos con el PAC. ¿Hay algún representante aquí? Is anyone from PAC present?
Sí, aquí
Gracias, Ms.
no,
Pérez.
también veo a la señora Castillo, no sé si quiera darlo ella, pero no veo que conteste. Pero si no, se tuvo la reunión del PAC en enero 28, ajá, creo que sí, no recuerdo bien la fecha, pero sí, y ese día el PAC tuvo elección de un miembro porque la vicepresidenta no se presentó durante todas las sesiones anteriores, entonces por reglamento se tiene que mover porque se tiene que tener presente a todo el comité la mayoría de las sesiones. Se hizo elección y ya se tiene el nuevo vicepresidente. Se dio el tema por parte de Miss Sobel y Mr. Resner acerca de el tema de sexualidad, cómo se maneja en cada grado y proporcionaron toda la información impresa también y Miss Sobel y Mr. Resner resolvieron algunas dudas con los padres de familia y con eso fue en este viernes 10 de febrero se va a tener la continuación de este taller, pero básicamente solo van a hacer preguntas y dudas con Miss Sobel de cómo se está manejando ciertos temas que los papás pidieron que tienen dudas específicamente y se está solicitando si se hace el cambio de dinero para que lo autorice el concilio. Ya tiene la propuesta Miss Sobel y Miss Montenegro.
Sí, eso va a ser parte de nuestra revisión de presupuesto. Ya lo tenemos programado hoy. Pregunta para usted, Ms. Pérez. Dijo que hubo folletos o información imprenta que se compartió durante la junta. Eso es algo que and this may be something that you could answer, Ms. Obo. ¿Eso es algo que se publicó o que tenemos acceso en Parent Square o para los padres que no pudieron asistir?
No se publicó, solo nos lo dieron impreso, pero esta información la dio Miss Sobel, entonces supongo que Miss Sobel tiene acceso a básicamente es todo el currículum de educación sexual que se ofrece por grado y que se empieza a partir del cuarto periodo. En este último periodo, entre abril y mayo, es cuando van a empezar esta parte de la educación y la ofrece el señor Resnar en la clase de Health. Pero sí, esa información la debe tener Miss Sobel y a lo mejor se puede publicar en Parent Square si ella lo autoriza.
Yes. Ms. Obo?
Yeah, I just wanted to add that like CPS kind of messed up our timeline. We've always done the curriculum, which is like healthy relationships as well as like actual what we think of as sex ed. I'll stop so you can translate.
Ya, CPS tuvo alguna miscomunicación acerca de la programación, el tiempo de cuando se va a hacer esto. Usualmente se tiene en el mismo tiempo donde hablan acerca de las relaciones saludables, además de lo que tradicionalmente conocemos como educación sexual.
And 2 weeks before we start that, and that usually starts in like April or even May, we will send out the scope and sequence as well as the opt-out letters, and we'll send those 3 different ways. So if you're not good at checking your email, it'll be on Parent Square. If you're not good at checking Parent Square, you'll get a letter in your kid's book bag. We want to make sure that's getting through. But because CPS asked the back and the pack to like weigh in on the curriculum, that's why we're having the conversations now.
2 semanas antes de que se llegue a tener esas clases, se va a mandar información acerca de todo el currículo y la opción de, I don't know how to say opt out, de que sus hijos no participen en las clases. Pero como CPS también pidió que obtuviéramos participación de los padres a cabo del backpack. Por eso se compartió en esta sesión. So, really question, is the purpose of sharing it during the back or the PAC meeting was for the purpose of parent input, and will that be open to other parents that aren't able to attend the 9 a.m. meetings?
There's no input. It is an evidence-based comprehensive curriculum that has been proven to reduce students keeping quiet about abuse and older students becoming pregnant. And so there is no input. It's all based on science and evidence. But when you get the information in like March, April, or May, before we start teaching that, if you look over the scope and sequence and it's not something you're comfortable with your child doing, you can opt out and we'll find something else for them to do during their health class.
Yeah, so las reuniones fueron por el propósito de informar solamente, no necesariamente recordar opinión o sugerencias del currículo. El currículo ya está diseñado basado en evidencia y este tipo de currículos está demostrado en ayudar a prevenir embarazos tempranos y también ayudar a los alumnos a prevenir estar en situaciones donde son sujetos a abuso. Thank you. All right. Well, muchas gracias, Ms. Pérez. Y como mencionamos, vamos a hablar acerca del presupuesto en otro punto abajo. ¿Alguien de el BAC tiene alguna otra cosa que decir de reportar?
Está la señora Castillo igual, pero dice que no puede activar su micrófono. El BAC no ha tenido junta, tiene su próxima junta el 17 de febrero, donde se va a hacer el taller y la celebración de el 14 de febrero para los padres que acuden al BAC y para quien quiera asistir también. Y también se está solicitando un cambio de presupuesto que se están solicitando. Igual ya lo tiene Miss Obel y también usted, Miss Montenegro.
Perfecto, muchas gracias. Ok, entonces, muchas gracias, Ms. Pérez. Podemos mover al próximo punto. Vamos a hacer una moción para revisar y aprobar. Vamos a revisar los recaudaciones de fondos y aprobarlos individualmente si están disponibles. Is there any fundraisers to review and approve? Are you taking over? Do you want me to stop sharing?
I don't have anything to share online right now, but I have, hold on. Let me see if we have any fundraisers. Okay, no fundraisers. I do have 4 things to transfer funds from different lines.
Okay, and that's our next line item. Perfecto, no tenemos recaudaciones de fondos para revisar ni aprobar, so podemos mover al próximo punto. We don't have any fundraisers to approve. The next point in our agenda is check requests and budget revisions, revisiones de cheque y presupuesto.
Alrighty, the first one is a transfer for the back in the pack. They want to transfer money from their supply line to commodities, supplied food and refreshments. And it's on 2 separate budget lines. So they want to move $375 from the first supplies fund, and then they want to move $3.14, the remainder on their materials non-digital funds. So that would be $378.14 going under their supplied food and refreshment line.
$378.14. And what were the 2 categories for?
The first category was supplies. And the second category was instructional materials non-digital. and they spent most of that second one on books, and they just want the last $3.14 to go towards food.
Okay. Tenemos una petición para mover dinero del presupuesto para cubrir materiales de instrucciones que no son, what did we say? Supplies, instructional materials, what was what?
Where is the
Instructional
budget
materials,
moving to?
Sorry, it's instructional materials, non-digital. We have to actually
non-digital.
specify those out, whether they're digital or non-digital. They're different lines.
Yes, so materiales de instrucción no digitales. And then the other one is just supplies.
Yes.
El otro categoría de presupuesto simplemente materias. And we're moving it to something? Oh, Vanessa needs that for the minutes.
Food and refreshments.
Para comida y refrescos. Does anybody have any questions? ¿Alguien tiene alguna pregunta acerca de eso?
Sí, tengo una pregunta. Este presupuesto, lo que queda, todo se está pidiendo que se mueva. Entonces, ¿cómo aseguramos que no necesitaríamos algo otra vez en lo que es materias non-digital, por ejemplo? ¿Luego se vuelve a pedir otro cambio de presupuesto?
I'm not sure I understood your question. Can you say it in English?
Yeah. So my question was, we're transferring all the funds over from our one question, are we transferring all the funds? And if yes, how do we ensure that we wouldn't need any more funds within supplies and instructional material?
So this is just the back and the pack money. And if they don't spend it this year, then it goes away. And so they've already purchased all the books and all the supplies and everything
Yeah.
they need. And now for March, April, May, and like a week in June, they just want to make sure they have food.
Got it. So everything's been purchased. Yeah, we're already in February. Goodness.
Yep.
It's like we just started this
Yeah.
school year.
I know.
Okay, so si no hay ninguna otra pregunta, me gustaría hacer una moción para aprobar la transferencia de fondos de materias instruccionales no digitales a comida y refrescos. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. And we can go ahead and roll call.
Okay. Ilse Acevedo.
Sí.
Abraham Celio.
Sí.
Yesenia Cervantes.
Sí.
Dulce Garduño. Sí, ok, sí la veo, gracias. Vanessa Herrera, sí. Tenoch Hernández.
I
Yeah.
don't think does he vote to approve budget stuff?
Yeah.
I wouldn't see why not.
No, you're
know.
right. I remember.
Yeah, I was like, I think he does.
Erika Montenegro.
Sí.
Megan Sobel.
Sí.
Okay. Let the record show that we have 8 in favor, 0 no, 0 abstaining. Tenemos 8 a favor, 0 no, 0 abstantes. I think there was separate budget transfers, right? For
Yep. There's 3 more.
Okay.
Hold on. No, wait. This is the same. I think it was given to me twice. Yep. Okay, wait. So also, so that was for the back, and now for the pack, they want to transfer funds from supplies to food and refreshments. So that will be $325.
Okay.
And then we also want to transfer funds from supplies to services professional administrative because they want to schedule some trainings and workshops. And that would be a transfer of $600.
You said services, professional, and administrative?
Yes.
And administrative. And that was going to be how much?
600.
600. Ok, entonces estamos haciendo una petición para transferir fondos de otra vez materiales y para refrescos y comida en la cantidad de $325 y también para hacer otra transferencia de materiales a servicios profesionales y administrativos. Y esto es porque quieren tener talleres de instrucción para los padres. ¿Alguna pregunta? Any questions about this transfer?
Yeah, sorry, Miss Sobel. The first one is transfer from supplies to
To
what?
food and
Food
refreshment.
and refreshments.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I know this stuff's annoying.
Okay.
And the other one was from supplies to, yep. All right,
Good there.
perfect. Okay. ¿Alguna otra pregunta? Ok, me gustaría hacer una moción para aprobar transferencia de fondos en totalidad de $925. ¿Alguna persona me la segunda?
I'll second it.
Okay, we can go ahead and start the roll call.
Okay, Ilse Acevedo,
Sí.
Abraham Celio,
Sí.
Yesenia Cervantes,
Sí.
gracias. Dulce Garduño,
Sí.
Vanessa Herrera, sí. Tenoch Hernández,
Yeah.
Erika Montenegro,
Sí.
Megan Sobel.
Sí.
Okay, tenemos 8 a favor.
Okay, let the record show we have 8 in favor, 0 no, 0 abstaining, 8 a favor, 0 no, 0 abstantes. La moción pasa, and we can go ahead and move on to the next. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. Is there more budget revisions?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, yeah,
So this
Not a
next
problem.
one, it's coming from 3 different lines, but all of the purpose is because we need to clear a negative. Mr. Gonzalez got a raise this year, and we didn't have enough money set aside to cover the whole thing. So we are requesting to cover that negative, which we have to cover. We looked at some budget lines where we had more money than we're going to need to spend. And Vanessa, you want me to pause there so you can take down the notes?
I'm good. You can move
Okay.
forward.
Yeah,
Perfect.
okay.
The first one is going to be from a non-digital materials line, and that is $3,339.83.
Okay.
The second one is the same instructional materials non-digital, but it's a different line because you have like different lines for different areas. And we want $1,000 from that other line. Again, we're trying not to have 0 on any line because like one line would be what like kindergarten gets to use, and then one line would be like what 5th grade gets to use. And then the last one, we want to transfer from a supply line, and that would be $519.90. And at that point, our budget will be balanced again.
Okay, and just to clarify, the second digital materials line was for $1,000?
Yes.
Okay. So se está pidiendo transferir fondos de una línea de materiales no digitales y una línea de materiales para cubrir un aumento para uno de los maestros. Y no se tomó eso en consideración en el presupuesto original, eso se tiene que cubrir de nuestros fondos. Se va a tomar los fondos de 3 diferentes cubetas. Las primeras 2 son líneas de materiales no digitales en la cantidad de $3,339.83. Was that 85 or 83 cents? 85 centavos. La segunda línea es de $1,000. La tercera línea, como mencioné, es de materiales general en la cantidad de $519.90. And what was the total for that transfer?
I don't have that because that's not how we do it, but I'll add it up.
That's okay. Pero la suma de esos 3 transferencias va a cubrir el negativo que tenemos presente. ¿Alguna pregunta? Any other questions about this transfer?
The transfer, is it going to, what is the name of the line? Is it just like a salary line or wages, or how do we
A
categorize?
line is regular position pointer line. Each teacher has their own. This one's going to Mr. Gonzalez's.
Okay. All right. So I'd like to make a motion to approve the transfer from the 3 separate funds in order to cover the negative for monies not set aside to cover a promotion. Can I get a second?
Seconded.
Thank you, Ms. Silva. And we can start the votes.
Ilse Acevedo?
See?
Can we pause really quick? Sorry, just to be on the safe side. I know we had asked about Tenoch voting. As far as personnel matters, would this classify as a personnel matter?
It's not. It's just a budget transfer.
Okay.
Thanks, Eva.
Thank you for checking.
Even if it's to cover personnel salary?
Yeah, because it has nothing to do with him.
Because the raise was
It's
already
balancing
approved.
the budget.
Okay. That makes sense. Perfect. Thank you, Mr. Why am I blanking right now?
Celio.
Thank you, Mr. Celio. It's one of those days.
Okay. Abraham Celio.
Sí.
Yesenia Cervantes.
Sí.
Dulce Garduño.
Yes.
Vanessa Herrera, sí. Tenoch Hernández.
Yeah.
Erika Montenegro.
Sí.
Megan Sobo.
Sí.
Okay. Okay, you have ocho a favor.
Yes. Let the record show the motion approves with 8 in favor, 0 no, 0 abstaining. La moción pasa con 8 a favor, 0 no, 0 abstante. Any other budget provisions?
Yes, one last one.
Last one.
This is from the same line. It's a supply line, but there are 2 different requests. So we're requesting $865 to cover carpets for the teachers, and that would be furniture is the line. And then we're also asking for $2,111.40 to buy the art teacher a smart board because her projector is broken and does colors wrong.
And then what is that line called?
That is to equipment.
Equipment. Ok, se está pidiendo otra transferencia de fondos, otra vez de línea de materiales, esta vez para 2 diferentes líneas, 865 para muebles para los maestros, y esto es para cubrir alfombras para los salones, y también se está pidiendo 2,111 con 40 centavos. Y esto va a ser para equipaje. I think it's equipaje. Y esto es para reemplazar el pizarrón inteligente, el Smartboard, para la maestra de arte porque ya no le están funcionando los colores. Y creo que todos entendemos la importancia de que nuestra maestra de arte pueda reflejar los colores apropiados. Okay. Any questions about this budget transfer? ¿Alguna pregunta acerca de este presupuesto? O cambio de fondos, quiero decir. Okay. So me gustaría hacer una moción para aprobar la transferencia de fondos. ¿Alguien me la puede segundar?
This is not Abraham.
All right. Mr. Celio, Abraham Celio seconds it. Thank you, Mr. Celio. And we can go ahead and start with the vote.
Ilse Acevedo.
Sí.
Abraham Celio.
Sí.
Yesenia Cervantes.
Sí.
Dulce Garduño.
Sí.
Vanessa Herrera, sí. Tenoch Hernández.
Yeah.
Erika Montenegro.
Sí.
Megan Sobel.
Sí.
Okay, let the record show that the motion passes with 8 favor, 0 no, 0 abstainings. La moción pasa con 8 a favor, 0 no, 0 abstantes. And I think that was the last one.
Yes.
All right, perfect. So, the next thing on our agenda, la próxima cosa en nuestra agenda es nuevo y viejo negocios, new and old business. And specifically, we wanted to follow up on some of the safety concerns that we brought up around traffic around the school, específicamente dar seguimiento acerca de algunas de las preocupaciones que teníamos de la seguridad a causa del tráfico alrededor de la escuela. All right, Ms. Sovo.
Yeah, Miss Montenegro had the wonderful idea to invite Alderman Cicho Lopez to this meeting. Unfortunately, he is at Juarez High School this evening, but he will be joining us for our March meeting to provide updates.
Ah, that's right. Today is the 25th Ward debate. That makes sense. Okay, so Ms. Carduño has raised her hand.
Yes, just remember this is something like can change because the next time to voting it's February 20. Okay. Just because we need to know who is going to be to the next alderman. So maybe it's Byron, but we need to looking for the other person too. If you know, for
So when was the follow-up that you said that he would be
He said
present?
that he could come to our March meeting. I'm honestly not sure when they get the new aldermen take office. So maybe our meeting is before then, but maybe it isn't.
just for remind.
Not
Yeah,
until
for
July.
sure.
They take office in July.
They take office in July. So he'll be able to update us in March.
Okay, perfect. All right, thank you very much for that follow-up. Gracias por ese seguimiento.
And then I did another bit of new business in case not everyone saw on the LSC saw their email, but starting May 14th, all LSC meetings are required to return to in-person.
May 14th. All LSC meetings in person. Okay. So, otro anuncio. Empezando el 14 de mayo de este año, todas las juntas del concilio escolar tomarán a cabo en persona, back at the school again, right? En la Escuela de Orozco. Ms. Torres asked if there will be a virtual participation option.
No, because the state is ending its COVID mandate to align with the federal government ending, and that means there's no more virtual, it's all in person.
And does that also cover, just because she did ask specifically about
The public,
like
correct.
the public? Oh, yeah, that applies to the public as well.
Come to the meeting to share, but the meetings are now live.
Okay. Okay. And Ilse raised her hand.
Yes. Esa iba a ser mi pregunta, pero también tenía un comentario acerca de eso. Yo pensé que aunque cambiara esa regla o esa póliza, se podía tener la opción de que todavía los padres de familia pudieran participar virtualmente. Que sería como una decisión de la escuela o también del concilio.
Everyone should check to make sure that I read the email correctly, but the way I read it is that their virtual was only an option because of COVID, and now that we're no longer in COVID, all of the virtual goes away. So it's right back to business as usual, where they're all in person and there's no more virtual option for anything.
So even as a school, we can't choose that. I'm just thinking about giving the parents and families the opportunity to participate, because there's been more participation virtually.
Yep.
So wanting to keep that open.
I wonder
was that is no longer an option because it was only made an option because of COVID. But if we want to argue about it, I think we should. But as it stands right now, it's a state law. So I don't think even CPS can do anything about it. It's an Illinois law that we only worked around because the open meeting law.
The last email that we received from the director of local school council relations did add, finally, meetings may be also live streamed via Google Meet, Zoom, or other virtual platforms. Additionally, public participation can be facilitated remotely. So,
Yay!
I mean, it's to be able to have then, the parents. Obviously, I mean, let's encourage, public, in-person participation, but it'd be great to, still have people to connect online.
Thank you for checking that, Celio. That's wonderful.
Okay, so nomás para aclarar, actually, Mr. Celio, can you say that? Can you say it in Spanish of the email that you read?
Oh, sí, la directora de la Oficina de Relaciones de los Concilios Escolares incluyó en su mensaje que las juntas se pueden producir a través de medios virtuales remotos para la participación pública y para que pueda ser facilitada al público.
Pero los miembros sí todos tienen que estar presentes, ¿verdad?
We still have to have physical quorum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Y creo que nosotros habíamos modificado nuestro propio contrato, acuerdo, no me acuerdo cuál sería el término, para permitir que si se llega a tener quórum físico, que los miembros adicionales pueden participar y votar virtualmente. Like that was a part of, like we reworded our own LSC contract to, obviously, as long as we meet physical quorum requirements in order to have the meeting, that we are able to accommodate to, maybe one or two, depending on our numbers, virtual participants as needed, that can still participate and vote on our motions. If I'm not mistaken, right, Celio, or does that go away too?
It's something we should look into if we want to make a modification, but it does go away because it's all based on the Open Meeting Act. So we're following, whatever modifications are in the law for open meeting. And it does state like physical quorum is required. Physical presence.
Physical quorum, but I think we had modified our language to say that, we were able to allow for virtual participation. Obviously, that would be like separate from the fact that we first have to meet physical quorum. But let's say if one of us is like, I'm joining remotely from the hospital, right? But I want to be a part of it, and I want to participate, and I want to be able to vote. Didn't we modify our own language to allow for that?
Hay que revisarlo. I think we
Okay.
just have to revisit it and take a look at it.
Okay.
I know we did something, and there was one that was approved as far as the bylaws go. Sé que habíamos aprobado una modificación.
That's what it's called, bylaws.
La primera fue autorizada con que sigamos the Open Meetings Act, but la otra que modificamos después de esa, no tengo resolución en esa del quorum, la presencia de quorum. I can't recall.
Okay.
So then, como yo lo entiendo ahorita, necesitaríamos presencia física para establecer quorum. Miembros pueden participar virtualmente si caen bajo las 4 indicaciones. There's like 4, reasons where they can qualify. We just got to vote on it prior. So, notificar. Si alguien sabe que no puede participar en persona, tenemos que votar en que esa persona participe en la junta virtualmente.
Cada
Bueno,
vez que haya una junta, ¿verdad?
Eso es
Like en esa
adición.
misma junta.
I just read the email again, and it does say that on the whole, meetings will be required to return to pre-COVID status with a majority of LSC members physically present in the same location. And then if
Majority
we have
leaves an option.
So I think that we can Yeah, to Erica's example, like if someone was like, hey, I had to rush my kid to the hospital, but I'm going to call in, we can't count them towards our quorum, but they could still like talk and participate as a member of the LSC.
And vote as well, but we just have to have quorum first. That's how I
Yes.
understand.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
But if we don't have a physical quorum, they couldn't count towards quorum because they aren't physically present. We have to ask about that. I'm not clear.
And that's why I think it was pretty clear that they can't count towards the physical quorum.
Okay.
I think the question is just on whether or not they can participate and vote. And we would have to just be really great as an LSC about making sure that we're communicating with each other on that chain of emails on who can and cannot make it to the next LSC, so that we know that in advance, or who's joining virtually, so that we make sure that we meet quorum, or have to reschedule the meeting altogether. So una de las cosas que dijimos es que vamos a investigar a ver si es posible en las juntas presenciales, que después de que hemos hecho el requisito de tener suficientes personas presentes para llegar a quórum, poder permitir algún miembro de ser virtual en caso de emergencia y para que pueda participar y votar también. Y eso vamos a dar seguimiento. And will be streamed and public can participate virtually. So yeah, and she said that, but the way you read it, Mr. Celio, it seemed like only public participation was streamed publicly, but we should just get clarity on making sure the whole meeting can be streamed.
Well, obviously, if we go into like a special session, that can't be streamed.
Well, yeah. Okay. All right. So I guess we're just calling the whole meeting public participation.
Es toda la junta. It says meetings. Yeah, it says meetings in general.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
I'll shoot that email to everybody. Se los envío a todos para que lo tengan ahorita in your inbox.
Thank you. All right. So thank you very much for that. Hablando de public participation, hablando de participación pública, es tiempo ahora de participación pública. Mr. Celio, ¿tenemos alguien en la lista inscrito?
No, al momento no.
Ok. Perfecto. Entonces, si no hay más preguntas del LLC, Ms. Torres.
Ay, buenas tardes. Disculpe, no pude ingresarme. Solamente quiero invitar a todas las personas, si gustan añadirse a lo que es Friends of Orozco. No teníamos nada preparado porque hemos tenido un poquito we had a little setback, but due to a couple of family emergencies. But we are going to get back to it. So if anyone is interested in participating and joining and starting up with Friends of Orozco, we are going to meeting again. I'm not sure. We don't have dates just yet due to some family emergencies again. But if anyone's interested, you can reach out to myself, Marissa Santiago, and Ms. Carrillo, and our email is friendsoforozco@gmail.com. Si a alguien le interesa en reunirse para poder empezar, ya está comenzado, ya está organizado lo que es Friends of Orozco, pero vamos a tener que empezar en motivos de fundraising, qué es lo que vamos a hacer. So, si a alguien les interesa a reunirse, necesitamos más miembros para tener valid membership right now. Parece que pusimos que iban a ser hasta 15 miembros, más los voluntarios que van a asistir, ¿verdad? Pero sí necesitamos un poco más de miembros. Yeah.
¿Hay manera de publicar eso en Parent Square, Ms. Sobel? Is that something that we can advocate for on Parent Square?
Yeah,
Or,
for sure.
okay.
Send me or like normally Michelle would take lead, but we know there's family emergencies going there. So just send me the info and I'll make sure it gets posted. I'll even try to put it on a cute flyer. And Gladys, you said that was friendsoforosco@gmail.com.
I believe it is. I don't have it in front of me.
I was going to put it in the chat, but I won't if we're not sure.
Okay.
It is. I just checked the email and I saw the little logo come up with the Orozco name. So, friendsoforozco@gmail.com.
Yes. Yes.
Yay. Thank you, Gladys.
All right. Thank you very much, Gladys, for all the work that you and the team is doing to get that up and running.
All right. Now join us.
All right. Thank you very much, everybody. The next regular LSC meeting will be held on Wednesday, March 8th, 2023 at 6 p.m. And since this is before May, it is still going to be virtual.
Yes.
Yep. And so any other final comments, questions, concern? La próxima junta de LC se va a llevar a cabo el 8 de marzo de este año. Será un miércoles y como es antes de la fecha en mayo, todavía va a poder ser virtual. All right. Well, without further ado, this meeting is adjourned. Podemos cerrar la junta. Oh, wait, no, we got to vote on it. Sorry. Me gustaría hacer una moción para cerrar la junta.
I'll second it.
Gracias, Ms. Herrera. And we can go ahead and start roll call.
Ilse Acevedo.
Sí.
Abraham Celio.
Sí.
Yesenia Cervantes.
Sí.
Dulce Garduño.
Sí.
Vanessa Herrera, sí. Tenoch Hernández.
Yeah.
Erika Montenegro.
Sí.
Megan Sobel.
Sí. And before we leave, I just want to thank Tenoch for being here and
Yes.
bienvenidos, Tenoch.
Bienvenidos, Tenoch. All right. Buenas noches, todo. Meeting adjourned.
Hope to see some of you at the dances this week.
Yes, dance tomorrow. Bye.
Adios. Buenas noches.